Now, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Byron, good to see you. I know you have a busy night tonight. Thank you for being with us. Want to get your take. I mean, listen, there is pomp and circumstance tonight. It's a fun night to still be in the chamber as the president addresses the country. But Joe Biden has two challenges. One, he starts off by having to walk down the aisle, and he doesn't really walk, he shuffles. And then he's going to have a prompter that he actually has to read off of, and we know he doesn't do that very well. He mumbles through it. So what are your expectations for tonight in the chamber?
I don't really have any expectations. My biggest question is, can Joe Biden last an hour at this point? I asked one of my Democrat colleagues this morning, didn't get a response. But look, it's bigger than that. What Joe Biden obviously is trying to do is demonstrate that he has the policies and the ability to lead this nation for 4 more years. This is the beginning of the presidential election. And what the American people have seen is that his policies are terrible. He's not really competent. And we don't believe he has the stature of leadership that the presidency requires. Contrast that with Donald Trump, who has an economic record that worked for all Americans. You know the man's got the stature to be the president, and he was competent at doing the job. Much better president, way better than Joe Biden ever wishes that he could be.
When you're out in your district, Congressman, when you're out, you know, even in Washington, D.C., and you talk to people and you find out Democrat, independent, maybe voted for Joe Biden, what is their reaction? Because they are living the hardship and suffering brought upon them financially or otherwise by Joe Biden. How receptive are they to the ideas? Do they remember, as the polls suggest, the good times and the prosperity of Trump?
Well, typically a politician would say they're disillusioned. Oh, no, they're dumbfounded. They're looking at this economy and wondering why they continue to fall behind. People in our country, white, black, Hispanic, they're talking about generational wealth, building that wealth to pass on to their kids and to their grandkids. They all know that's not possible under Joe Biden. And then when you start bringing in border policy, which has been an abject disaster, foreign policy, where we have lost 4 embassies over his presidency, people have really had enough. And so I do believe there's a lot of voters who want to turn the page. What Republicans have to do is we have to present the solutions for what ails them. It's one thing just to talk about Joe Biden, and trust me, he's terrible. We could talk about it all day, but it's the actual prescriptions, lower energy costs, drill baby drill, being energy independent, financial regulatory reform, keeping taxes low, actually leading. Those are the prescriptions that are going to lead to a more prosperous America for everybody. And so that's why you have a lot of voters starting to say, you know what? Bring Donald Trump back. At least the man could do the job.
But, you know, Donald Trump has to bring in more voters. And so if we look back to 2020, Joe Biden won swing states like Georgia on the promise that he'd bring greater prosperity and opportunity to minority voters. But as we look 3 years later, those promises still remain completely unfilled. And now we're seeing more and more black voters and Latino voters are shifting towards Trump and Republicans. Are you seeing that yourself? And do you think this, we see it in the polling, but do you think that will stay as we get to November of this year? And what does Donald Trump need to do to solidify that minority vote?
Well, look, I do see it. It's something that is occurring. But like you said, the operative question, what do Republicans and President Trump need to do? This is not just about outreach to minorities. This is about building relationships with minorities in a lot of urban areas. Talking about the fact that with Donald Trump and Republican leadership, packages of bread and cereal and whatever else you buy won't be shrinking because companies will be able to make their money. Packages will be bigger, and the prices won't continuously go up on the things that you need, like food, like electricity. It's stopping crazy stuff like forcing car companies to build electric cars when we know that that medium income Americans can't afford them. It's doing sensible things with our economy and having the solutions. That's what brings those voters to our side. And I truly believe in 24, it's definitely possible because the Democrats had an ability to unleash their entire agenda on the United States, and it's been an abject disaster.
Congressman, thank you so much. Great to see you. Byron Donalds, always. Tip of the hat, sir.
Enjoy the night. Thanks, Byron.
All right, take it easy.